pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right.
Roll call, Judy.
Roll call. Mr. Ricky Barber.
Here.
Mr. Craig Bruno.
Here.
Mr. James Douglas.
Here.
Mr. Mel Irwin.
Here.
Mr. Randy McDonald.
Here. Matt Farrell's here. Mike from Highway is here. Courtney from Water Sewer is here. Bob, Code Officer, is here. Dave Gillette's here. Dock Control Officer, John Flynn, Youth is here. Pam Barber, Secretary to the Board. And Judy is here. And John Lyon. And Jim Kirby's hiding behind. And what? Okay. Yep, yeah, there is. Okay. With that being said, I need a motion discussion to accept. Motion and discussion if we need it, accept all reports, Water Sewer Belcourt, Highway, Town Clerk, Dog Control Officer, Youth Department, Code Zoning, Supervisor Report, Website, GCO, and Banking Report. I need a motion and second.
I'll make that motion.
Mel made the motion.
I'll second.
Craig Bruno made the second. Any discussion?
Thank you. Everyone.
All in favor?
Aye.
All 5 ayes. Okay. And I need a motion and a second, number 5, to approve the town board meeting, regular meeting of March 22nd.
I'll make it.
Rick made the motion.
Second.
Jim second. Any discussion?
Perfect.
All look good. All in favor? Aye. Okay. Community input.
5 ayes.
I didn't put this paper out because I'm not used to doing that lately.
It's right there.
Something
It's
signed.
signage.
It's okay that we're making mistakes.
That's okay. We'll give it an open session.
That's okay.
Open
Open to
floor.
the floor.
I got a couple,
Yep.
no one else does.
We recognize you.
Okay. All that work that was done on the Bear Swamp Road by NYSEC, I know you got calls on it and everything, Randy.
Yep.
Has the board ever gone and put anything in writing to the power company and or to whoever the authorities are? That how a utility can come into a town and do what they did without really notifying hardly anybody except maybe the people directly impacted. As far as I know, you didn't know about it. And then it was very disruptive, and yet they just came in and did it. In fact, I happened to chat with a former NYSEG bigwig the other day, and he didn't really think there was any big deal out of it, but you could tell I disagreed with him. But they seem to think they have unlimited authority over the towns. Do we have any legal recourse against them at all? Or I'm not saying, but I think they should have to give the town supervisor something in writing. I'm talking as a citizen as to what's going to happen.
As far from, so legally, if they're doing work within their easements, no, they don't have to give us any notice. It would certainly be the right thing to do if there's going to be a power interruption or something like that. I would hope that they can do it, but there's not a whole lot of recourse we have or anything we can do other than basically say, hey, next time this is going to happen, can you let us know?
Yeah.
So if they're working within their easement, they kind of have unlimited authority, I think.
Personally, I think it'd be nice to put it in a writing, a letter to them and maybe to state legislators to let them know what's happening. Brand Hollow, broadband. I guess there's going to be money available for broadband expansion and so on. I don't know. We've obviously had a lot of it in this town. Verizon has practically lived here for the last year and a half. But are we going to know? I know some towns are conducting broadband surveys. Are we going to know where we stand when Verizon's done and how many roads are not covered, or what's our status right now? Do you know?
I'm sure they'll let us know. I mean, they have it until the end of this year, but with COVID, I've already heard that's possible that they might extend it because, of course, the work that was going to get done wasn't getting done as fast because of the 3 to 6 months that it was held up. But I have not heard of them extending it, but I could imagine that could play a role for sure.
So it's going to be the whole town approved?
it's supposed to be every town got tons of grant money. I mean, the state has given Verizon tons of grant money, to get each town done.
That's why I understood it.
Yep, that's why I understood it too. It was
Yeah, I don't know if it's every,
7.7 million.
the state wants every property covered, and I don't know Verizon for sure is guaranteed they're gonna do every property.
Strackville Road and everything else is really fast right now.
Right, we're a lot better off than some towns, I know
I've
that.
had a lot of back roads, people tell me that, you know, we've never had it and it's fast as heck up here.
It was kind of funny, a number of people observed this, I've talked to several people about it, including myself, or I definitely observed it. Last summer, you'd see their trucks parked all around town on side roads with sometimes two trucks with 4 men in them for hours doing nothing, just sitting there. It was a little bit suspect to me. In fact, I called Billy Jones' office about it, and I even contacted the Attorney General's office about it. And other people were equally upset. I don't know why they would do such a thing, but I just want to go on record as a citizen again. It was, there was, in my opinion, something was going on. You don't sit 4 or 6 men in a truck for 4 or 5 hours doing nothing on a side road. And that was going on all summer long.
Maybe they're having a good game of cards, maybe.
Yeah, well, it was pretty disgusting knowing that we were probably paying for it.
Maybe they were waiting for notification on something.
They might have been, but either they're the worst run company in the world or there's something else going on, in my humble opinion. Main Street, the North Main Street project, we got a $150,000 grant. We were trying to use some of the money for other things. Where did we end up with that?
We ended up paving, was that?
I think we paved
ended up paving down at Hayworth Village and stuff.
Yeah.
We used up some of it down at Hayworth Village and stuff like that, but we only had a certain time to use that, and as you know, it was extended, 4 times, and we never got people to bid on it that would do it for that kind of money, which we kind of knew at the beginning, 5-6 years before that.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Right.
Mike ended up spending the money to pave down at Hayworth Village, and stuff like that. What was that, like 30,000-40,000? In that range.
We haven't got reimbursed for it yet, so.
Okay.
So he owes us.
Okay, that's all I want. That's about it, but thank you very much.
Questions, Mr. Ryan. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Would this be the place to bring up a possible organizing the community pickup?
Yeah, you're Scott?
Yeah.
Yep. Scott Coleman, right?
Yeah.
He inboxed me an email probably a week and a half ago, and I told him to come to the meeting. It'd be the best spot to bring it to the board. And he's thinking about doing a community pickup day where they organize a bunch of community volunteers and pick up trash if we can supply garbage bags. So,
Yeah, and I don't know much about it. It's just kind of been on my heart even last year, but it was after Earth Day by the time I thought of it and stuff. But like, you know, when snow melts, there's a lot of trash around. So, and it could coincide with Earth Day, which I forget if that's, I think in May sometime. I have to look it up, but
might be early June too.
it might. Okay.
Oh, yeah, in your calendar.
For, you know, just, it could bring community members together in a
Birthdays
sense
on
that.
Thursday, April 22nd, 2020.
Ooh, it's coming up soon.
Oh, it's April 22nd.
Yeah, it's coming up soon, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be with that, but like, you know, I don't know if the highway department could loan vests for people to wear while they're picking up trash. That's just one thought that could be a possibility. And then like if people meet at a certain, you know, parking lot in the morning and then to go out and do whatever they can to fill a bag, even if it's just one bag, and then return. And, you know, I guess you'd have to have a way of knowing it's a bag that we gave them to use so that they just don't go in their car and bring their own trash bag back or something, you know. But I don't think many people would do that anyway. But if anybody has ever been involved in having a community trash pickup day, you know.
Have we done that, Courtney or Mike?
John, doesn't the Lions Club do it?
They do the Bear Swamp Road.
Just the Bear Swamp?
Is that kind of like adopt a highway thing that they do?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a long stretch there, but they've been doing it.
Yeah, would they have their own vest and their own
Yep.
So I don't know, you know, I guess what would be the format to ask to kind of get an idea of how much interest is out there, because.
Social network.
I'd say social network to see if you can get enough volunteers to do it.
Right.
Mike, could we bring like the guards to the highway department and then have it, you know, in our.
Yeah, I don't know if I can hold everything, depending on how much you get. You know, I got a bigger dumpster, but.
Would we have to have waivers to sign off on liability
I
or?
don't know. I mean, if it's a group of volunteers that's not sponsored by the town, probably not, they're just using. It's gonna depend on how it's, probably how it's put out, like if it's a town sponsored event, or if it's just, you know, the town gives them 40 garbage bags, that have at it, they do it on their own, that's different.
Yeah, and I mean, I could even supply the garbage bags too, if that makes it less.
No, we could definitely supply the garbage bags.
How about the best?
We have come up with them. We can't supply turkeys, but we can garbage bags.
I think, Scott, for me, the biggest thing would you have to have somebody like yourself, or if you get a lot of them, and you know, like everybody pick a road or whatever. I mean, it would take some organization.
Yeah.
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
There's enough trash.
I try to just get with my friends and whoever they have contacts with, just to see who, you know, some of them are teachers, some of them work in different areas in Peru, and they could kind of get an idea of, through Facebook or whatever, of how many people might be willing to come do it.
Maybe John Ryan could put something in the paper, if there's interest, contact Scott.
What's this gentleman's name again?
Scott Coleman.
Coleman?
Yes.
Yeah, like the cooler, the lantern, COLE.
But no, I think it'd be a great idea. You know, anything to obviously pick up, you know, or make the community look better and the town. I think it's a great idea. And you know, I can help organize it for you guys as long as it doesn't turn into an insurance thing because I'm a town supervisor. But I could do it as a volunteer myself outside of this. I'm sure.
You got long arms, you can pick a lot of trash. Take fingers.
And the less formal, the better, because it's less, you know, it seems less
Yeah.
liable or less structured
Yeah.
as far as coming from the town.
So, does anyone else have any questions or any concerns or anything that, or you guys, Bob?
I have a couple of things. I don't know, Mike, used to be state DOT would provide those orange bags. I don't know if they do or not anymore.
I don't know.
Okay, and then the other thing, I mean, has it been mentioned that they should probably, volunteers should be wearing some vests and stuff? If they're along the roadside, they should definitely have a vest on. Like that.
Yeah, for safety reasons.
Yeah.
Is that something that the highway department
Yeah.
might loan?
We have to buy them, they okay it. Right now, employee has one, that's it.
Okay.
It has to be something disposable, you know, you don't want it back.
Yeah, it'd have to be disposable. We can look into it, Scott, for sure, you know, and
Maybe some
see if
reflector
we can
tape.
organize, you know.
Spray.
something.
Some reflector tape or spray paint.
Thank you.
No problem. Any other questions, anything?
Thank you, Scott.
Thank you, Scott. But we'll talk more, you know, and see if we can get it organized and.
It's not,
Yep.
it's like, it's.
Have a cookout after, you know, something like that.
Well, thank you.
Kobe sweater?
Okay. Number 7, resolution discussion, hire of a new part-time court clerk. I need a,
Make the motion.
Craig made the motion.
Second.
Give it to Rick. And Judy, resolution for number 7.
Mr. Douglas, you gave the second?
No, Rick did.
Rick, thank you.
Craig made the motion, Rick second. And then we do roll call after the resolution.
Resolution authorizing the hiring of Andrew Bizga as a part-time court clerk. Whereas the town board has agreed that hiring a new part-time court clerk is necessary for the effective operation of the Peru Town Court following the recommendations of Town Justices Lawrence Cabana and Jim Kirby. And be it resolved that Andrew Bizga be hired as a part-time court clerk for the town of Peru at an hourly rate of pay to be $13.72 with the start date of March 26, 2021. And be it resolved that this resolution shall take effect immediately. Mr. Barber?
Hang on just a minute.
Yeah, I have a question also.
When we fixed the steps
The handbook.
in the handbook, we got rid of 3 steps. So the first step would now be the 4th step. 4th step is $15.82 an hour.
That's what I understand it also.
So we should change it to 1583. The handbook is not finalized with that yet, but it will. Is
It
that,
all depends on when you want to make it effective.
Wait, do we have to wait until the handbook?
because it's not finalized yet.
Right,
so-
exactly.
So, you know what, I think the right way, and I'm gonna ask Matt, obviously, I think until we finalize it, it should be this, and then when we finalize it, hopefully within a month, we're thinking, like, next meeting
I'm
maybe,
guessing the next
the
meeting.
next meeting, that it will go up, but I think it probably should stay there until we finalize the handbook, or what do you think?
So what
But have we
about,
started on the?
what about Luke Facette? He started at step 4,
Okay,
January 1.
and then which?
I would say the biggest thing is you have to stay consistent with who's
Okay.
Otherwise, you can still do it either way. There'd be a good argument to be made to stay consistent because you always should. If this other person hadn't started, then this new hire, you could easily start at either one and fine either way.
But no,
To
if
be
we started-
consistent, I think you gotta do it.
So we started him at 1583,
Well,
the
no.
step 4?
It's step 4, it's a different category, so it was 16 something. 1675 maybe, I don't know.
You make a difference between part-time employees and
Yeah,
full-time.
Luke is a
employees.
full-time.
So that, I mean, there's a difference there. I don't know what you normally do between full-time and part-time. If part-time is coming in starting making less or more, I don't know. But that is a difference, so you can justify either one.
So where do you guys want to be?
Well, I don't have what it would be for part-time. I got that.
I saw that it was 13, and I thought because we hadn't passed the handbook, that's why it was at that rate instead of the 15.
What's the past practice in part-time employees? They can be making the same, more or less, than a full-time employee.
Well, they have their own pay schedule, they should.
Yeah, they've got their own pay scale.
Part-time employees, this is part-time, right?
This is part-time.
So does this number reflect the part-time pay scale or the full-time pay scale?
That is reflective of, I don't have it on me. Do you
It
have
would-
it there,
It
Jay?
would be reflective of what it would have been at full-time at step 1.
That's step 1, full-time, but let's see part-time.
Let's see
Let's see
part-time.
part-time at step, which would you go into step 4, we will be able to hand the handbook update.
Well, I would, if you're gonna do it, it should be part-time, step whatever the person is now, not considering the new handbook. You haven't
So this is
You
one,
haven't adopted that, you don't know if you're going to, you don't know if it's gonna change. So go with what's on the books right now, is a
Yeah.
part-time, whatever step this person is
which I think is,
Would you like me to read it, what it says?
oh yeah, yep, absolutely.
Okay. It
But
is, this is the new handbook.
this is as of,
We don't
when
want,
Brandy and I talked about it, it was as of 5/1/2021 because
in. Do we have the old one, Andy?
So I have a question though. If they revert back to the existing handbook, the 10 steps, what happens to the guy? We're getting rid of 3 steps, so he's gonna have to do a 10-step program?
No.
No.
As of 2022, he'd go up to that 4th step. If you're talking about Andrew.
The other handbook.
yeah,
So he has to do 8 steps. Total. If you bring him back to step 1.
We're gonna pass the
No.
handbook.
He
No.
wouldn't go back, he'd be at step
It-
4.
it-
Step 4,
And in January, you put him at step 4. Now he's gotta do,
which will be the
7
original
plus the
step,
one he's
will be
already
the
done is
first
8.
step 1.
but then he's gotta do 7 steps plus the step he already did is 8.
He would actually get an increase because
I
if
know
it
he's gonna
goes,
get an in, that's not what I'm saying. Either way.
How many steps are there, as you sit here right now, how many steps are there?
Right now is 10.
10.
10. And what does the new handbook consider?
7.
7. We're dropping the first 3 steps.
So if I got hired here June 1st, I would start at what is now a step 4.
Yes.
Your guys started at what?
Step 4.
So why would this change?
Well, we agreed months ago last year to change all this.
Right, but I'm saying,
So-
irregardless of what we do with this gentleman, why do you think your
Oh,
employees?
he's not gonna change my guy. I was speaking for that guy. I was just trying to clarify where he would go after this year.
This guy, the court clerk.
Correct.
Well, what I would say to do is, my recommendation would be hire him now, at whatever step is on the books now. And then when if you
That's what
change the handbook effective May 1st, you move everybody to what they are then based on what the handbook says. So if he comes in now as a 1, in May he then automatically becomes a 4 and you go from there.
Okay.
That way you're always doing what's agreed to, what's ratified, what the law is of the town, so to speak. And when you change the law, you move everybody accordingly.
Yeah.
So your guy who came in as a 4 gets that bonus, but when they ratify the handbook, he stays a 4.
Right.
Right?
And then Mike's guy, that's a 2 right now, would go to a 4.
Yep.
Right,
Yeah.
everybody, when they change the handbook, if they do, everybody but your guy you're talking about will change, would be my assumption.
And there's only 2.
There's already
Well, that makes sense.
2. Okay.
So I would hire this gentleman at whatever step you came in as a part-time, as you sit here today, and then change it whenever you're gonna do it.
So the resolution is exactly the way it is written, and then come May 1st, was it? May 1st, next meeting, we pass it, and then you bump up to step 4. So resolution on roll call.
Roll call. Mr. Barber.
Yes.
Mr. Bruno.
Yes.
Mr. Douglas.
Yes.
Mr. Irwin.
Yes.
And Mr. McDonald.
Yes. He's got to start 1372, and then he would be going to 1580, what was it? 1583,
1583.
come June, or come May, after May 1st.
Okay.
Okay.
Jim, you, thanks, Rick.
Yep.
So it's incentive for him to stay longer, with a nice little boost right off,
Yeah, at least 2 weeks.
at least 2 weeks. Number 8, I need a motion and a second to hire Alden Stevens for the municipality records management service that we agreed.
Make the motion.
Craig Bruno made the motion.
Second.
Second by John Douglas. Resolution, if we need any discussion, we can have it, but resolution, Judy.
A resolution approving a contract between the town of Peru and Alden Stevens for municipal records management services. Whereas the town board members have the quote from Alden Stevens to conduct an inventory of the town of Peru and Peru Justice Court inactive records maintained at the town hall building. This inventory process will include, but not limited to, evaluate contents, rebox, relabel as necessary, recording of retention and disposition dates for future purging, and update existing index of records according to the LGS-1 and the New York State OCA guidelines. Whereas the inventory will be done for the price not to exceed $11,000 and no cents. Therefore, be it resolved, said proposal is accepted and the supervisor be and hereby is authorized to execute said proposal, and be it resolved that this resolution shall take effect immediately.
Any discussion at all? This ain't the first time we've hired them to do this. Was it
10
5 or
years
10
ago.
years ago? 10
10 years ago.
There's some sort of background check, something that we can get to have on file that this person or company is dropped. I mean, we're giving them access to all our court records. I think you want something showing they're not gonna.
I know he does, he currently, I believe, is doing the city of Plattsburgh.
Yeah, I'm sure it's always, yeah, I'm just saying,
I'm
ask
sure
them if
he
they,
probably could.
or ask OCA, you know, these people do this, do you want us to have anything on record as far as a background check, anything like that goes? If they, maybe they don't care, and when they were fine, I just would like to know if they're supposed to get something.
Just to be safe.
That's
Okay.
fine.
We
If
didn't,
if
we
the answer
did
is no, don't worry
before,
about it, we're covered, that's fine.
but, yeah, I
Just
don't
to be
know.
safe.
Yeah. Good idea, Matt. Thank you.
before you had dinner, what do you think happened?
Really smart?
Oh, okay.
Okay, roll call Judy on this.
Mr. Barber.
Yes.
Mr. Bruno.
Yes.
Mr. Douglas.
Yes.
Mr. Irwin.
Yes.
And Mr. McDonald.
Yes. Okay. Moving on right along to number 9, T-Mobile antenna and adding a generator upgrade contract. I got several calls from Tim, from Sprint and T-Mobile now, I should say. And we're talking about their rent increase. They're gonna need 40 more square feet than that they already have. And so we're at discussion of, I did talk to Tim today. They were at 1474.20 before this year. They went up to 1695.25. They just went up 1695.25. He talked to me about, of course, they start off a little bit low, and then they go to 100, and then they go to 200, and then, so I got them to 304.75 right now. So I got them to even $2,000. 1695.25. What is the board thinking? Courtney thinks maybe we're still a little too low. That's about a 24% increase already that he's at. Do you think we should go more than?
Does it have anything in our contract, an increase per?
Every 5 years they go up 10%.
15 is 15.
15%?
The Sprint's 15% every 10 years, 5 years.
5 years. So every 5 years they already go up.
That's why there was such the jump this
A
year.
big jump.
And I'm kind of suspicious because the jump was a little higher than 15%.
Yeah, it was.
But if you add in the 72.58 that we negotiated in 2015 for the microwave dish, it puts it pretty close to that current figure.
So that's probably
So I'm
worth
kind of
it.
curious if we
Jump.
haven't been getting paid for the 72.58 the last few years. I'd have to, did they break their payments down?
So, but right now, like I said, they're at 1695.25, and I got them to at least 2,000, and like Courtney said, every 5 years it jumps 15%.
And
I personally like shoot for 22. They're not just adding the generator. If you read the proposal, they're taking the single antenna off the top of the water tower and they're putting a bank of 3 antennas on the handrail. So they'll be taking up our last available space for rent.
You lose nothing by asking, they clearly like the spot, so.
yeah, I say go for it.
Yeah.
That's 22.
That's gonna put them closer. Right now, I couldn't find in their contract what their ground square footage was they were leasing, but Verizon, didn't he tell you something?
What?
Didn't he give you?
101 square feet right now.
Who, for Verizon?
No,
Oh.
no.
They gotta be more than that.
They're 101 plus is 40.
Because Verizon's building's 1,300. For
Let me
their
look at
building and their
my thing,
propane
what I
tank.
talked
Verizon is 2202.
Yeah, Verizon's 2202.
Yeah.
They're up to right now. They increase 3% every year.
Every year.
Yeah.
So should, if Verizon
Yeah, they're only a
increases,
little over 100. I
3%.
mean, that's what he told me. Like I said, I obviously don't know if they're measuring in cases. But he said a little over 100 now, like 101, 102, and they're going to add 40 more square feet. That's what he told me. With the generator and whatever else.
Yeah, his
40.
drawings, I didn't see any measurements on them for square footage.
Bob, do you know what square footage? Because I know they got to go to the planning board 2 next.
They gotta follow the telecommunications law, and I have not seen an application. I talked to that Tim, that's a gentleman from Arrow Point, right?
What's that?
He's the one from Arrow Point?
Tim is who I talked to.
Yeah, so, they just have to go to the planning board to get the site plan approval and follow the telecommunications law. And it's, application fee is like $5,000 or something. We did it last year for one over on Terry Mountain. Someone from the same company, it's just the company that represents these firms.
Well, I think it's a needed area, and I agree with you, Courtney, that if they're gonna take up three antennas, then
they should pay the same.
But this is.
Well, it's too bad we didn't have a breakdown.
That's
Footage.
all there.
Which company is that?
Also,
It doesn't have any measurements.
Verizon increases every year, so why don't we ask Sprint to increase every year?
Well, they do. They do.
Oh, I thought it was every 5 years.
Well, it's every 5, but it's 3%, just like Verizon is 3%. They do it every year, 3%.
Verizon's goes over
Sprint does it every 5 years, 15, same amount, it's both 3%, it's just they do it in a group like they just did. That's why it went up so much.
Without any measurement.
But they do the same percentage if you divide by the years. Right, Courtney, am I right by saying that? And I'm pretty sure I'm right. Is Verizon does 3% every year, and Sprint does 15 every 5 years, which is the same.
Correct. Yeah, the
That's why
10%
we-
was when Nextel was up there.
Like Matt, or Mel said though, square footage wise, are,
It's hard to tell, it doesn't have measurements on their drawing. And I went through the original contract that was back in 2001, I didn't really see where it actually spelled out the square footage.
but your recommendation as a water superintendent?
I would say
That we should
get
get,
them with 22 and see. That puts them close to Verizon. Their array on the water tower is gonna be pretty much close to the same size as Verizon. I would also, like if we requested a certification that the handrail can't hold the antennas they wanna put on it, that's at their expense.
Yeah, they have to do that. They submit an engineer's report.
Did they?
Yeah.
Also, Matt, in this lease agreement, I don't see anything about the money going up every 5 years or 3 years or anything.
I see what you're at.
Maybe a chance to look at it. Yeah.
yeah, number 9, Matt.
It says the lease is otherwise unmodified except as expressly set forth in this amendment. On number 11,
He said,
Yeah, I'd rather have an escalation clause break this lease because
Yeah.
you say everything but what's in here is unmodified, they're modifying the rent, so they can easily say the escalator's gone, everyone look at it that way, so.
So we have modified that before.
If the rent's gonna escalate, it should be spelled out in each member. There's no reason not to do that.
Maybe you can do that after dinner when you got your brain food in you.
That's not really great.
so are you gonna modify this, Matt?
I've never seen this, but I'll be happy.
Should
I
we,
thought we sent it to you.
I don't think so.
should we consider trying to get them to do 3%
Yeah.
a year?
Yeah,
Yep.
don't do that.
I'd rather see that the, literally by year what the increase is gonna be or the dollar amount. 2022, they're gonna pay X, 2023, they're gonna pay Y. However you want, it doesn't matter how you do it, to me, it's easier to have it spelled right out in these amendments.
I like it more like Verizon 3%.
Well, you're compounding your interest, so you do make out a little bit.
Exactly.
How much space is Verizon using on the ground? You know?
1,300 square feet.
And they're gonna be adding, Sprint is adding 40 square feet more.
So they're gonna be
Yeah, but I don't know exactly what there is now. I couldn't find their exact measurements and it's not on their proposal. So I don't know if their ground square footage is close. I mean, it looks it when you look at the blueprint.
And
but I
they're
don't
taking
know.
up more space on the
The tower,
tower.
up top.
They're gonna want
No, they're not. They want, I think we go, the 22, easily 22, even more if you want.
Well, $2,200 is 33% we're gonna be asking
25, I think, for that.
for. What?
It's like 25% increase.
No, we do 1695, 1695.25 and do about a 33% increase, that's 500 and something bucks.
Well, they increasing their land by almost 50%.
25.
And they put 3 towers up, so that's another 2/3.
35% is 5.
I think about 27%.
Should go up about 33% according to my calculations.
That's 20, upper 20s.
That's before dinner.
Let's see what they say, what are you guys thinking? I mean,
200.
2200?
and I agree with Matt though, let's see if they go with a yearly or at least spell it out.
Yes.
Table this for next meeting, get that contract going.
Well, they're saying that this is only discussion only. This has nothing to do with passing a resolution or nothing.
Okay, and We want
Only discussion to get to where we want to be.
3% a year. Put that down, you're gonna notice.
Year. And they do gotta go in front of the planning board anyways, so until the planning
Free
board stuff
service
is
to the
done,
highway.
we won't do a resolution until the planning board stuff is done anyways. Because that has to be passed, even though planning board can't hold up telecommunications and different stuff anyways, but,
Can we get any free phone service out of it?
yeah.
I
Good
haven't
luck.
had an application yet.
Yeah. Okay,
The tower's bad enough.
everyone done on that one?
I don't think so.
Okay. Number 10, setting a date for public hearing for local law for fire notice. Pam, on this one, for number 10?
I actually wasn't here that day, but Henry Vanden Beaver came in from Nymer, and I think he inspected your buildings and stuff.
Yeah.
And you passed it over to Matt after too, just to
And
make
he,
sure.
yeah, and he gave Diane the prior law, which was local law number 2 of 1979,
79.
and wants it to be changed to what we have here. I just added the top and the bottom of this law here. But it's basically the same as what he wanted, and I sent it to Matt. You said it was okay?
Yes, he did. I saw
Yeah,
that.
so this basically just codifies what the law of the city, which is basically you can't sue municipality for a cracked sidewalk or something unless you receive prior written notice of a defect and had a chance to fix it, so.
Okay.
I don't know that it adds a lot to what's already out there in the law, but it certainly does perk, so go for it.
So we need to set a public hearing for that.
Do it.
How long of time can we do it before our next meeting? You got enough time to advertise everything?
But I don't know.
Well, let's do it.
Usually
I mean, this
advertise-
is obviously no rush, obviously. So let's,
I would say
do it
not
for
this
the
next meeting, but prior.
May.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's,
It usually takes 5 days to get it in paper.
okay, so let's set a public hearing for May 10th. This is not even, gonna be, 15-minute meeting, public hearing, I should say. So let's do a 5:45 on May 10th, public hearing for this local law. Is that good with everyone?
Yes.
Okay, so I need a motion and a second to set that public hearing date of May 10th at 5:45.
So moved.
Rick?
Second it.
Second by Craig Bruno. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Set. Number 11, handbook final workshop date. You guys want to do an hour workshop or a half an hour workshop? I mean, obviously.
No.
Half an hour? Okay. Okay, so before our next meeting,
5 minutes.
which is April 22nd, or 26th, I'm sorry, 26th. Let's do a 5:30, quick work.
No,
We're already gonna be here at 4 o'clock.
yeah, we got a
Yes.
two EPG meetings
Okay.
at 4
So,
on the 26th.
um,
So what about before the May 10th?
no, because May 1st it goes in effect. May 1st, the handbook goes in effect, so.
Well, we can
Doesn't have to
change.
be a meeting day. Pick any day.
Or, you know what, do we really need a workshop on it?
No.
Other than discussing between the next 2 weeks with you, Pam, of what we already know is in there? That's what I think we can do easily, without having a workshop. We already know what's in there, what changes we wanted,
Yes.
and it's
There's a
just,
few
it's just
changes.
finalizing it,
There's a few changes he didn't want in there because they were too specific.
okay?
Because he says, once you get too specific, then you have to change it every single time.
Okay.
So, I mean, it was just minor things, like the, being able to use,
Sick time for all that.
sick time before a holiday, that's gonna stay in, but as long as it's approved by the supervisors, you can use
Superintendent.
comp time, vacation, or personal time before it. Like that, he says, we don't have to put in the comp time
Yep,
and the personal, because it's already being approved by the supervisor.
okay.
Makes sense.
So in the next 2 weeks, if everyone, I mean, obviously just overlook what we already know is in there, or if there's anything.
I don't have it back yet. As soon as I have it back, I can print it or email it for all of you. So
I love emails.
Okay,
I know.
so we're not gonna set a date, we have just put it on the next meeting because we do have to have it done by May 1st.
Beautiful.
Okay, so the workshop.
There you go, Carl, you got your way again.
You said hello, you said half an hour. Okay, number 12, sewer project update, Courtney.
Everything seems to be moving along okay. Ravenberg's crews came in today, they did all their safety training and started doing some road cutting in North Bend. I think tomorrow we should probably start seeing some excavation. Reminder, our first construction meeting is Wednesday at 10 o'clock. If any of the council members want to come.
Say it again.
Wednesday, 10 o'clock is the first construction meeting.
Here?
Yeah.
Do you have
Is
that?
that, we're still waiting on a work permit from DOT, so they can't do anything in the state roller right away until they get that. And there's still, waiting on a clarification on a wetland issue at Maiden Lane, so they can't do anything down there.
Oh, yeah.
They're gonna be starting on Sunrise Drive and then going up North Bend. That's where they're planning on starting first, getting that section in.
I saw them on North Bend today and they were cutting,
Saw cutting.
saw
Yeah.
cutting with the stand-up saw and it broke. Now they're using a
Well,
demo saw. They only had another 40 feet to go, I figured.
You guys did a great job behind that church, it looks beautiful down
That
there.
looks awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice
Yeah, it
job.
looks good. And you guys, all the workers and John Kelly, you did an awesome job.
a lot of work from, or help from Highway too. They did a lot.
There should be.
Mike polished it up with the machine in the end.
So you guys working together, like, you know, even on Bear Swamp Road, I mean, working together, both departments, and you guys did that, got it done in 2 days, it was going 3 to 4 days, so you think about that, it's $8,000 we saved by getting it done 2 days instead of 3 or 4 days. And like Courtney said, you guys are gonna let the ground settle, obviously, and then we take care of it.
So I'm gonna try to, I've already put out once on the town's website, John Ryan put it on the Gazette, and I put it on the Water and Sewer Facebook page. The schedule that they have so far for construction, I did it up through, I think it's the beginning of June. Obviously, that's what they had planned, that could change a little, but I'm gonna try to keep the Facebook page and keep John updated as much as possible.
Yep.
And I've been trying to tell people that, we've had a lot of people asking us to watch one of those 3 areas for updates on when possibly roads could be closed or if they're gonna be in their area.
Good.
And will Pam be posting it on the sign also?
We probably could maybe post on the sign to direct to those sites.
Okay.
And if the messages are small, she can get it on the sign, but if they're a little larger, yeah. But I'm gonna assume starting tomorrow, we'll start seeing a lot of, from this point on, stuff, we'll start getting busy.
Right. Do we have any issues with easements?
Pam's reached out to most people. You've got a couple signed, I think.
We've got probably a third of them signed.
Third signed. There is one that we just noted in the plans that we thought we had permanent easement, but that line's actually gonna be redirected now, so we're working, I told AES about that today. We'll discuss that more in the construction meeting.
Excellent. Thank you.
Anything else? Good, okay. Number 13, other business, already. Rick?
I'm good, I was just gonna comment on Mike's job on the side hill. Great.
That's what John Kelly said, if he could have some of those guys working for him, he'd take on more jobs, so.
Yep.
It's a compliment to all your men. Actually, John Kelly did a great job, and he was trying to lower his bill, and right there, and he said,
And he is gonna, and he did come in today to talk to me, about 2:30, he came, I think it was 2:30, a little after 2 o'clock, he came in and sat down with me in my office. He wanted to lower his bill a lot, and because of all the help he got and stuff like that, so we did let him lower some because of the help that he had, because like you said, he couldn't do it without the highway and water sewer guys, he couldn't do it all. no way, he could have took on a job that big. So he is gonna reduce his bill by about $2,900 overall that we're gonna let him. He wanted to reduce it a little bit more, but at the same time, we gotta figure out, hey, he did a great job, he did this. At the same time, we're gonna come to a middle of the road, but we are gonna let him reduce it down to $2,800, something like that overall, from $12,000 something dollars. We're gonna let it bring it down to $9,300. So we gotta get a bill on that, but I just wanna let you know.
Nice.
I mean, there's not many people that, regardless if we have the work, that they helped or not to get it done faster because we need it done faster. One come to us and say, hey, listen, lower my bill by $2,000-3,000.
No.
John, very stand up to do that.
No, I mean, we caught what we could, but some of those were getting to the point, I mean, we're not arborists, and one of those trees was 5 foot across, and there were some big trees.
Well, not only that, I showed up, Courtney left, and John wasn't gonna leave. He said, I've got a tree over here, I want you to look at it, the base of it looks rotten to me, I think it should come out. And I went over and looked at it, I called Courtney, I said, he's an arborist, he's suggesting we cut it, I said, I believe we should. I said, it's rotten. Well, if you think so, he said, go ahead. I said, John, cut it. And he wasn't even partway through the tree and over and went, it reached the pond.
Yeah, that's what he said. He said it wasn't even, like you said, a quarter way through and it
Yeah.
snapped right off. So we would've figured that out, obviously, when it snapped off on top of the building or wherever.
Exactly.
Yep.
Nice.
I think he said he cut 2 trees for free.
He did.
He cut 3 trees that day, 2 of them were for nothing, and that particular tree, the rotten one, he charged us.
He said he cut 17 total and 2 wasn't gonna charge us for, and then, like I said, he wanted to reduce the bill, and we came to middle of the roads.
Yep. Dell, my son, she hasn't heard a thing from Don Swain, so she's gonna send another letter.
I know Matt was having problems back when he was trying to get hold of him too.
I mean, and I got the letters, and I showed it to Mel, and I showed it to Rick. She's gonna send another letter, and
He's gonna get sick of it here.
and he just doesn't show any interest in it. That's my only
Now, just one thought, Courtney, down there where they cleared, I don't know what the lighting's gonna be around that pump station, but we may wanna consider putting a pole there with a yard light on it before we seed it.
Yeah. Well, all the utilities are gonna be underground, but I'll see what the building, there's gonna be a small building that has a screening unit, I'm not sure what that has.
It's gonna have some lighting there too.
Yeah, hopefully. I'll look at it closer, but that was one of those things too, as far as screening the lift station, we decided we were gonna decide that after we saw it in place to see what was gonna be the best thing, whether we wanna fence it in or shrubs or.
Now, you guys do realize, Courtney and I discussed it when we were down there, where the ground is right now, it's gonna be raised 7 feet,
Good.
where that pump station's going.
Yeah, the
So
back
that hill is gonna be quite high, graded down toward the pond.
Good sliding hill.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's what John Kelly said today. It'd be a good slide on it.
Yeah, hopefully, once we get that all seeded, then we can plant some trees back. Some of them will be good go.
Anything else, Bob? Craig?
Got some trees up on the red road that fell over. Are you guys interested in going up there, touching them up? Maybe tuning the road up a little bit too?
Anything productive?
No,
Okay.
it's a big word for you though.
Bob?
One thing I got, Joe, I just want to know if you guys are okay, when I'm traveling roads, sometimes I see a bag of trash or even some stuff. You guys have a problem with me picking it up and putting it in this dumpster?
No.
I just haven't.
You do it every time I would.
And I'll tell you, Scott, I think that's great that Scott came to talk about that tonight, and I'd be glad to help, but I have a big thing.
No,
No
I know
problem.
Mike's guys also pick up stuff, but certainly, you know, they were picking up, in the village the other day, picking up sand and, you know, the hardwood over in Bear Swamp.
Yeah.
What's that? And I picked up some car parts, you and I have done it
I was
before.
gonna say, we
So
need
I-
to
that's why
over.
I said something,
We had that bumper that one time, it wouldn't fit. We had to break it in
yeah,
half.
so I just wanted to let you guys know, I mean, I just don't mind picking up stuff, and I'm not gonna pick up juicy bags or anything, but I will pick up some stuff and put it
Yeah.
in this dumpster, I just wanna let you guys know.
No, actually, we picked up a lot over on, oh,
National.
yeah, Dazzle Road, quite a bit.
There's always a lot over there. I
Yes,
called, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, isn't our bill the same every month, whether it's?
Yeah, it
Oh, yeah,
it fell right to the top.
Yeah.
They don't, it's never been completely.
Yeah, it's never been completely full anyways, but,
Mike has gone over at that, I called one day,
It's
he
not-
picked up a mattress.
Correct.
So,
If there's more, if it weighs more,
It goes
we
by
get
tonnage.
charged more.
Okay.
Just,
The pick amount is the same, but if the tonnage is up there.
still better than having a.
still better than having it sit
Right,
there,
right.
Yeah.
as long as they're not picking up. Courtney,
I think I've said everything.
you sure?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll come back to you. Mike?
The Bridge New York, application by Carl Bagg is in. I got an email from CMS engineers for the next one going towards, Fuller Road. But it didn't come to the point of set, so I haven't really, it was on my phone, so it's hard to read. It looks like they, instead of a bridge, they're gonna propose a culvert. The rough price for that was under the 1 million, but not by much, a few cents. 999,000, but they're figuring, the state kicks it back, says it has to be a bridge, you'll have time to file for the bridge. The only thing I don't know what that does, if we happen to be lucky enough to get the bridge to the culvert by Mr. Bagg, if that's gonna knock us out for the next one. Because they both definitely have to be done by next year, regardless if we get a grant or not. So, I'm gonna call them tomorrow, looks like I can read this on a bigger computer and see, because that's the only thing I'm working on. When talking to DEC, they want to go over, so, and the Army Corps, I know this is gonna want to go over, because that's gonna be in the water. So, we'll have to see where that goes. We have started sweeping. Should be up in, if they didn't make it today, I don't think they did, up in Quaker Springs and Quaker Highlands tomorrow. I've been calling John, once I know where they get done, try to give him a rough idea where we're gonna be, but it's perfect conditions and no rain and stuff. There is a little flimms on the road with the film, the dust, but until we get rain, that's the only thing that's gonna take that whole film off. Has anybody been by, we've got a ton of salt in that set. I still got 196 ton, I think, to get. What it is, we order that and come fall, and we're guessing how much salt sand we're gonna use, which normally you get 1,500 ton. I had to take 946 ton by the end of this month, so that's why it's there. It'll be a pain, I'll have to pull some out. But like the guy said in the salt company, it could go up $30 a ton this year. And twice so far, we kind of go down and pick the county guys here, because he does the bidding for all the towns. It sounds like it's gonna go up, and I got money left, you can buy up to 20% to save you on, a little bit, because you get it out the same year contract, and if it goes up, you're not out, you're saving some money, so.
Good
That's
job.
why there's quite a jump. It's a guessing game what you're gonna use.
You never know. We don't know what the weather's gonna be every day.
Next year we could empty it, but we've been lucky the last few years. So, and I'll be honest with you, I hope it stays that way.
So do we.
That's all I got.
One quick question, Mike, where are we with that? Remember you were talking about this new salting process for the.
We're, no further, we were supposed to have executive committee meeting, and I was hoping to swing by on the way back to Syracuse, but I just got the email today, they decided they're gonna let it calm down a little more, and we're gonna do a Zoom meeting on the 22nd, and the July meeting, we're actually supposed to meet along to the COVID thing had still calmed down, and going in the right direction. So I was hoping to swing by on the way back to Syracuse, talking to people. It's actually gonna work out the Zoom meeting. I got my second COVID shot the 23rd. And I leave in the middle of the night anyway, I think it was 2 o'clock in the morning last, and I had to be back here for 9:30, so it'll work. With the Zoom meeting, I'll be right here anyway.
Good.
Thanks.
Thanks, Mike. Dave?
Looks like I'm gonna have to start camping out down the Hayward Village. Dogs running, people playing ball, frisbee. They're not bad dogs, but I'm getting complaints again. I caught 4 of them today. Then I got a call before I got home. The person wanted to know how I made out with these people, so I guess I'm being watched.
I didn't die.
I know you did.
Not this time.
No, I know you did. I won't bring the names up because I'll start some hate discontent.
But thank you 2 weeks ago for going right down and taking care of what was going on.
I assume there's a sign down there, so
The excuse I got was that they don't think people can see it because it's written on the bottom. I went down and looked at it, and I thought, I can read it. They showed us how to read it. It's right there when the phone is. They're not bad animals, they're
No.
just, you know, they can't be run.
We have a leash law.
Thank you, Dave, like always.
Hey Dave,
Anything else?
Another thing,
got my daughter's dog for a week, so be on the lookout, okay?
you got it?
I have my daughter's dog for a week, so be on the
Got
lookout.
it license?
Down in town of Brew.
You know where to go tomorrow, Dave.
I sure.
No collar on him.
There's 650 right there, buddy. Just by opening his mouth.
Try to get it.
John?
I'm all set.
Jim?
Good.
Okay. Pam?
Nope.
Judy? I'm all set, everything was set during the meeting.
I have a question for you, Randy.
Oops, I'm sorry.
After you though, man.
In the back of the,
Yeah, there's a little picture.
the back of your packet, a lady, Mrs. Ninehouse, has a nice little note with the water bill. And she said, "Hi there, check for water bill is enclosed. Thanks for all you guys have been doing to keep things going. Penny Ninehouse." I thought it was nice of her to do.
Nice to hear that.
It's
I had a
nice to hear
question.
someone compliment the town instead of always crabbing.
Yes. I like that.
Put out flares every day we have to, so.
Oh, I'm glad you said that.
Put out flares or what?
On my way home last week, I was driving by the old Don G apple storage, and I see smoke coming out of where the old settling pits used to be, over behind Silvers's. And I called Courtney after I went over and saw that it was on fire. And 2 young ladies one had broken up with her boyfriend, and she lit a photo on fire and dropped it on the ground, and it spread like wildfire. So I called Courtney, and I said, "You've got a fire over at the settling lagoons. I think you should come over." Well, Courtney was working on Bear Swamp, and he stood for a minute, and he said, "I might want to go over there and unlock the gate." And then when he got
I
over
went
there,
back to work first, and then I started thinking, I was like, oh, there's a gate lock there. I guess I better go let the clerk.
so I'm over there throwing sand on this thing, which is getting bigger by the minute. And finally, the fire department got there, and it had eaten up probably, what, 300 by 300 area, pretty close. It was going good.
Did she
Are
learn
you in the
her
fire
lesson?
department by any
No,
chance?
I was there once.
Did she learn her lesson?
I think Courtney told her no boy was,
It was worth that, there's a
was
lot of
worth,
us out
was
there.
worth that.
Did you get her name, please, so I can...
Did she get a fine after that? Did she by any chance, Bob?
Well, the DEC was called, so I don't know what happened after that.
Randy, I had a question on you, Randy, about our COVID money.
Okay?
Have you heard anything else
Have
on
not
this?
heard a thing yet.
80,000 maybe?
Nope, I have not heard a thing yet. I've called 2 different state officials, and I've not heard a single thing. Pam, have you heard anything at all here? I mean, I'm here throughout the day now, but
Brakes truck.
we haven't heard a single thing.
I
Do we
heard
start
they're
seeing
dividing
money
it
or
up
hearing
to the
more?
councilman.
It's, there's too many, as we said the last meeting, there's so many open-ended things on that. Until we start seeing money or getting checks,
Don't spend
don't spend anything until you have it, and I'm gonna tell you, that's a good example.
Okay, thank you, Randy.
Not saying we're not gonna get it, but there's a, you know, it ranges from here to here, and then when it starts talking about, you know, people getting 13 hours more an hour and paying, it's,
Got you.
we'll see how it goes. Okay, I need a motion in this, well, actually, public comments on agenda items only. Anyone? Okay, we're going, I need a motion and a second to pay the bills.
Motion by me.
Craig Bruno, motion.
Second.
Mel, I'll give it to Mel. Second. Resolution, Judy, to pay the bills.
A resolution authorizing the post-audit payment of certain claims, bills, and invoices for the town. Whereas the town board has received and audited the following claims, bills, and invoices for services rendered and goods provided to the town in April 2021. For Town of Peru vouchers in April 2021, numbers 2021003333 through and including 2021000408, abstract date 4/9/21, for the dollar amount totaling $99,948.81. Of that, $12,010.26 was wired at credit cards, prepaid, and $87,938.55 is remaining to be paid. And whereas the town board finds said claims, bills, and invoices to be acceptable in form and reasonable in amount. Now therefore be it resolved that payment of the aforementioned claims, bills, and invoices is approved, and the supervisor be and hereby is authorized to make such payment, and be it further resolved that this resolution shall take effective immediately.
Roll.
Mr. Barger?
Yes.
Mr. Bruno?
Yes.
Mr. Irwin?
Yes.
Mr. Douglas?
Yes.
And Mr. McDowell?
Yes. Number 16, I need a motion to adjourn to executive session for personnel.
I'll make the motion.
Recommend the motion.
Second.
Second by Jim Douglas. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. So we can go in.
No action after?
No, there wouldn't be no action taken after.
Okay.
For me and Jim Kirby, if you guys could stick around.